It's Warren here with Peter Swan. How are you?
Very well, thanks.
I am clutching a coffee because I've had a whopping 2 hours sleep. And this is a whole time zone difference coming from Los Angeles and arriving late.
Well, we came out here from Phoenix, so
From Phoenix,
I
so
can appreciate exactly where you're
Yeah.
coming from. Yeah.
But this is great. So, our mutual friend Joe Parry just brought me over here and said, I have to know about this. So tell me, what do I have to know?
Well, this is our first day launch of Useful Arts Audio.
Beautiful.
And what we've got here, what you're looking at right now, is our 2-channel all-tube single-ended Class A mic pre. We've got the normal full features you'd expect on a mic pre, but the real magic of this guy is the color knob, which gives you a variable amount of second harmonic distortion without increasing other forms of distortion and preserving all the transients and dynamics. So you can go from microphone straight to your converters. It's going to sound like a record because of the ability to control the harmonic content of the sound.
Now, I just put on some headphones. Obviously, we can't demo this, through our little camera mics, but you can play with it here. One, What I loved about it when I was messing with it earlier was it made me sing a note differently. I like that. It's like inspiring. Like there's certain distortion that sounds arbitrary and just this is
right.
I'm going to say
when I
this
say
word.
distortion, distortion can mean a lot of things.
It does mean saturation, distortion, coloration, second, third harmonics.
Exactly. This is second harmonic content that's
Great.
designed not to interfere with the overall dynamics. I want you to be able to hear the saliva in the back of the
It became
singer's
very.
throat.
I was going to say throaty. That's why I was afraid to say it.
Yeah.
But it did. It made me when I was singing. I went. I actually started to what's the word? Like embrace the sound it was creating and sing more like it. My gut
That's
is
awesome to hear.
for me. My gut is I put this on like a Steven Tyler kind of rock voice. It would be absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah, no,
because it would
does.
exaggerate that already kind of stuff. Not that I'm saying it's only limitations, but when you get like those multi-tracks like the Marvin Gaye's, and not that those illegally found multi-tracks exist, but they do. And you solo those vocals. I mean, those guys are overdriving tube mics.
Oh yeah,
They're coming in and like and that's the sound that I heard with this.
And they were doing it at a time when you didn't have brand name preamps going into those tube mics, right? They all had custom builds that had their own character. And so I was inspired to do this by some old Chet Baker records, where it sounded like he was whispering in my ear. And I my goal with this is so that you feel like you're in the tracking room and not in the control room.
Wonderful.
So I think we got something there.
Very beautiful.
Thanks.
Great, and then you've got the instrument versions.
Yeah, so this is a completely different concept designed for instruments. Any instrument with a plug, initially designed for piezo pickups because it's got a 20 megohm impedance that comes from an all-tube circuit. So it's designed to pick up every little bit of detail and make piezo pickups sound like acoustic instruments rather than kazoos.
Yeah.
But it works great with electric instruments, magnetic pickups,
like a bass,
like that. Yeah.
So any excuse for me to play music, especially in Nashville. So I'm going to hear it in and out.
Yeah. So this is out.
Overly dynamic.
And
feels like
here's
it needs to
in.
be- Yeah. What I like is it's definitely compressing the signal in a really nice way. So it makes I can play softer and get more tone. The low end's great now. I can just stroke the bass because it's very even.
Exactly. The whole theory is if you don't load down the signal by demanding too much current out of it, all those little nuances are preserved. And that's what this is designed to do. And then we combine it with a nice Class A tube output pre. And
How much is that?
$7.99.
It's pretty darn good. It's a competitive area. I use the Acme, the Motown DI.
Yeah.
And that is fantastic. But that's a $400 or $500 product.
Right. This also has the high and low EQ, and it can drive the quarter inch and the converters at the same time with two outputs. The idea is you use it between your guitar and your amp, whether you're recording or not. It's designed to give you the tone, and the DI aspects of it are almost secondary.
Well, I like this for me because I'm a pretty good bass player, but I'm not a John Button, Sean Hurley, Victor Wooten, So for me, it's like that sort of control of the dynamic range is what I find appealing.
Yeah.
And I'm finding increasingly when you work with a great bass player, they give you everything in the fingers and you're barely compressing.
Well, exactly. This was actually designed for a really great bass player named David Friesen, a jazz bass player.
Right, yeah, of course.
And he asked for something that would do this, and I made it for him as a gift. I didn't know that it would translate so well to other instruments, but it's become very popular just from that.
So where'd you get your start?
Where did I get my start?
Yeah.
I've been engineering for about 25 years, and after a while I had been in the bowels of consoles and in the bowels of equipment so long, I started to learn what was going to satisfy my ear and designed the equipment to be what I wanted to hear.
That's great. I
yeah.
mean, that's all the great consoles. Tridents were designed by the engineers,
Yeah, exactly.
Cadacs were specifically made to, engineers spec.
Yeah, so this was designed really for a recording ear. It was not designed by math.
Oh, great.
So yeah, that's the philosophy.
Well, thank you.
Pleasure to talk to you. Thanks.
Good to talk to you.
All right.
Thank you. All right, let's move on. So here we are with Michael. We're going to talk some Serpent. How are you?
Great. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. We last year I came by and I think we talked about this, and I don't know what else. Oh, it may have been this compressor was out last year.
4001, right.
So what else do you have out? What do you have that's new?
Mike is actually out working on the first production run of this one. So we have the Splice Mark II.
Yep.
Is what one of his first units like this. So what it is it's a Rev A and a Rev D 1176 in the same unit.
Yep.
But say you only want the input stage of the Rev A and the output stage of the Rev D.
Yeah.
Switch it like that, and you can mix and match however you want, or vice versa, or full Rev A if you want.
This is my favorite feature of.
Oh, I know, in any compressor, really.
Yeah. Now that's started to come in as it's beautiful.
Right, just completely, so much more versatility with this, and exactly. In addition to that, you got the mixed dry knob, which he loves.
Yeah.
So the parallel knob,
great, yeah.
right? And then you don't have to mess with phase problems in your DAW and things of that nature. And
great.
What I love too is so you can turn on the slam mode, which is the famous all buttons in mode, and you can get that crazy coloration, but then you can tailor your compression the way you want. So you can even turn off the compression circuit with that on if you would like it, and you can get that really aggressive coloration and saturation, and then tailor your ratio any way you want it, which is awesome.
My old friend, God rest his soul, Brian Colstrom, used to use 1176s to drive microphones.
Oh wow, that would right.
Yeah, so that's that
the
kind of thing.
Stage in it,
yeah,
exactly.
Stage.
Right.
So I never asked, what is the retail on this?
The retail on this is now $14.99.
So that's about
1176, and you're getting the two different designs in the one chassis.
And a parallel control and a sidechain
You
filter.
can load the transformer for that kind of darker, more vintage sound.
Good to talk to you guys. I need another 1176. I might be.
I think I might be leaving with another one of these for my studio as well. So
nice.
I wouldn't blame you. So so Mike is back. He's working on the first production run of this. They somehow crammed all this down into a single wide 500 series format.
Really?
So and the only thing, exact same circuitry, exact same tonality. So instead of the sidechain filters there, where you have 5 different options, it's on and off for the high pass filter. In addition to that, there's no effects loop. Besides that, it is completely identical in terms of tonality, functionality, everything of that nature.
How much is this?
It's great. That's $9.99. So you can get a pair for a little more than one of these, which is great as well.
That's fantastic.
Especially if you're not using the effects loop, you're in it more for the compression, things of that nature. This is normally, a lot of the time it's tempting not to get a pair of that in comparison. Or, or the reissues, you're still out more than that for a single one of the units.
I love it.
So, which is cool. What I also love is their LA3A here. So this is the Chimera. And what's cool about that is this is the only unit I'm aware of personally that, at least in 500 series format, has an interstage transformer in it, in addition to the input and output transformer.
Oh, wow.
So like the original unit. And
there's 3 transformers inside this little 500.
I don't know how he did it right. Yeah, Mike's a magician. So, and he squeezed that into there. So yeah, input, interstage, output, plus the opto cell, of course.
Wow.
And there's not a lot of documentation. You can't get the interstage transformer they used to use. They don't make it anymore. UTC and all of that. So it's a custom interstage and custom output transformer. So, and I don't even work for the company, and I prefer this over the reissues wholeheartedly. So
I'm a big LA3A guy. When I first moved to LA like 20 years ago, you could buy them for like tuppence. Nobody cared.
right, exactly.
And then people started.
It's like the LA4A is now. Right.
Yeah. And then people started to find out, wait there, all those guitar sounds that I love were done on LA3As.
Right, exactly.
So now suddenly they're vintage again. So
Exactly.
great. What's the retail on this?
Retail on this also $9.99. Same with
Great.
this. So 500 series, pretty consistent.
Great.
This is also, which we have hooked up this for units that do not have a wet and dry parallel knob.
Right.
You feed it into this, and then you have a wet and dry feature on anything you do.
Fantastic.
So that way you can plug it into whatever compressor, your favorite compressor, and stereo pair if you need it.
Great.
And that way every compressor you have now has wet and dry parallel functionality.
Fantastic. Well, thanks.
Yeah, not a problem. I
I
appreciate
really
you guys
appreciate
stopping
it.
by.
Thanks, Michael.
So you guys have a great rest of your trip.
Thank you. I'm here with Joe. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, doing good. How about yourself?
I'm good.
All right.
So look, can you tell us a little bit about the latest Empirical Labs products?
Sure. Well, first off, we have the Distressor, which is one of the, I think, the most popular compressors of all time.
When people ask me to buy one compressor, I always just say buy that.
Right. They've sold about, I think it's about 30,000 at this point.
Changes, Mary and Joseph. Yes,
That's good.
quite a few.
So,
It is, just to sideline, if there is only one compressor you're going to buy, I would seriously.
And
I
I know-
like 160s, 1176s, LA2. I like all those compressors. If I only had to buy one compressor, I'd buy this because you can make this do all of those things.
and I didn't say that.
Yeah, it's true.
So, we also have the Fatso,
Yep.
great compressor, and it has different curves that you use with it, and it's used in a different way than a distressor. It's more of a musical. You know, you can great for drums, submixes, and things like that.
I do know guys that use it on parallel on drums.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
love it for that.
And we have the Little Freak, a very, very powerful equalizer. You can see it has, you know, you go through the whole thing, but basically it's just an extremely powerful equalizer.
My friend Aaron Johnson, who's the guy that discovered the Fray and did all of the original demos and got them signed and everything, he had one of these and he'd use it on pretty much everything. He knew he could tweak it. Oh, I'm doing bass, I'm doing vocals. Vocals in particular, there was a lot of high end that you could really bring out the air on a vocal.
It's great on
sounding
guitar
like.
too.
Yeah.
Get some great guitar tones out of it. And then there's the Mikey. And the Mikey's
I don't know this. Tell me about this.
Mikey's really, if you think about a distressor with a mic pre in it. And
Makes sense.
It's incredible because you're basically, it's a one-channel unit, but you're able to have a mic pre with a modified distressor built in.
Right.
So you have kind of the best of both worlds, a high-quality mic pre and distressor. And so this is an incredible product.
I gotta
And
try
if
one.
If you take this and you add a Little Freak to it, you got an incredible channel strip.
Wonderful.
So,
Yep. Fantastic.
and then of course we have our different products in the 500 series, but that's it for Empirical Labs, and we of course have the Arouser as well, which is the software
I've
product.
got to try that out. I still haven't tried it.
Oh, really? Well, we'll take care of that.
Okay, great. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a phenomenal product. Dave Durr, who is the founder of Empirical Labs, has worked on this for years and years and years, and it was the kind of thing where, oh, if I just added this, or if I just added this, and he really got it, tweaked it out. He's always updating it. It's an incredible product for the price. So
I like that the sidechain detector's basically a parametric EQ. That's
right.
pretty awesome.
And
Yeah.
you know, the great thing here is you can put it on all your channels.
Right.
It's not just dedicated to like one channel.
Yeah.
So it does an incredible job.
Wonderful.
So
Great.
anyway, that's it for
Thanks, Joe.
Summer NAMM. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Here I am. I'm with Dustin of Luke Audio. How are you?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. Good to see you again. Now, you've redesigned the mics. Tell us.
Yeah, man, we got 4 new mics to show you today. We got our brand new one, the AL1 Phoenix. We're really excited about this mic. It's our first tube condenser that offers multiple polar patterns. So, you know, you got your figure 8, cardioid, and omni. We're still the only company in the world using the 1 micron thin platinum diaphragm.
Nice.
So still all handmade internals, handmade circuitry. We sputter our own diaphragms, do that all in-house still.
Beautiful.
Moving over to the next mic, we got the version 2 of our almost award-winning mic from last year. We had our X767 up for the Tech Award.
Almost award-winning.
Yeah, we were up for the
Almost.
award, but we lost. We got the V2 of the 767. We changed the aesthetics a little bit, and one thing I'm happy we changed is we added a second layer of meshing behind the initial grill.
Yep.
Yeah, get rid of the spit problems we were having. We love it. Changed a little bit of the circuitry, but still one of our top selling mics.
Wonderful.
It's doing great. We got the 751 B2. This is the mic that used to be that dark maroon red. Personally, my favorite mic. I've always been a 251 junkie, so it's easy to love this mic.
Beautiful mic.
With the addition of the circuitry that we changed up, we also added the second layer of meshing to this one as well.
Right.
And then, have you seen the Y56 before?
No, but I'm assuming CMV 563 is its.
Yeah. The cool thing about the Y56 is if you hold this for a second.
Yeah. Oh.
So with the Y56, we got the 3 interchangeable capsules.
Yep.
We've got the A1, 2, and 3. We plugged in. All right, good to hear. So the A1 is our light area open mic, really good for female vocals. I use it on hi-hat, even cymbals, stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Great.
The A2 is more focused on the mid-range punch, all-around the best vocal mic in my opinion. And then the A3 we have has a more round tonality with a little bit deeper bass and low end.
Right.
But loving it. Everything's still handmade here in Nashville.
That's what I love. Look, let's stop for a second and think about this. This is a tube microphone, and it is retailing at $1,200, and it's handmade in America. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, just to go over the price points, you're getting 3 mics basically for $9.99 with the Y56. This comes with a really good flight case, custom molded internals.
I'm all about it. If it sounds great and it's great value for money, and it's also hand built in a country of origin, God bless it.
And the 2 FET mics we have in the center, the V2s of what we put out 2 years ago, these both retail for $8.99. And then the Phoenix retails for $11.99. We've had some people wonder if the Y56 has the multiple polar patterns. It doesn't, and the only reason we don't do that is because the way that these are interchangeable, it's been really difficult to engineer that.
Are you're keeping this as it's cardioid though the whole time? Yeah. All right. Well, it's interesting. I have a lot of mics, and my 47 stays on cardioid 99.9% of the time, and it goes to Omni when I do gang vocals.
I was about to say gang vocals.
And maybe if I had a better drum room, I might use it as a mono drum room mic and get the ambience. But yeah, if you think about it, that was the difference between a 47 and a 48, was that one mic, the 47, was Omni and cardioid, and the 48 was cardioid and figure of 8.
Yeah, the only time I've ever thrown it out of cardio myself is gang vocals or a room trash mic for drum set.
Yeah, and it's not to say if you didn't have all the polar patterns you wouldn't use them, but in all reality, if it's a big cost-effective mechanism, it's a good thing. So I really want to try one of these. You have to give me one of these.
Yeah, these things are awesome.
Because the 563 is one of my favorite mics. So for this being cheaper and having, I've got to try this.
Yeah, that's awesome. One thing I forgot to mention real quick is another thing about the V2s is we have added multiple polar patterns now. So we have the cardioid and Omni as well.
Great.
Our originals were just straight, no DB pads or anything.
Perfect.
Now we've got pads on them as well. So we've stepped the game up, haven't stepped the price up. People are loving what they're getting.
Right.
Hopefully this winter we'll be back on stage for another tech award. So fingers crossed.
Well, the thing is, obviously Joe told me about the mics, but I also heard it from a friend of mine, a Brazilian producer called Luke Pimentel.
Pimentel, yeah.
And so he's actually the first person to tell me about it, and then I saw Joe like 2 days later.
Yeah.
So, and Luke was like, they're not my mics.
Is that when he did the shootout in LA?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. And he's a really likable guy.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Thank you ever so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Justin.
I appreciate it, guys. Take it easy.
Thank you.